Let's understand what are positions. So in construct 3, each object has a position value, so which are coordinates. So these coordinates are referred as x and y. Okay, so if you take this car, if you place it somewhere on x on the construct 3 editor, so this will have the xy values. Okay, so let's say x could be 10 and y could be 20. So what are these values? Let's try to understand them. So if you are familiar with maths, so you must have seen like xy coordinates, two dimension, right? If not, that is also fine. I'll try to explain it as simple as possible. So construct 3 is a 2D game engine, so which has only two values, that is x and y. So let's say if you take this car, okay, so it can either go left or right or top or bottom. Okay, so this is 2D. So if you take a game like Temple Rider or Subway Surfer, you can not just go left, right, top or bottom, but you can also go into the plane, right? So that is 3D. So we are in a 3D world. So around us all the objects are in 3D. So 2D is very plain. So it will have either left or right or top or bottom. That's all. Right? It's as simple as that. So if you take Angry Birds, Tim the Traveler, or Cut the Rope, all these games are 2D games. You can either go left, right, top, bottom. That's all. Correct? So as simple as that. If you are sitting in a railway station, for example, right? If you are sitting in a train station, the trains would go maybe left or right, right? Or if you are sitting on a tall building and you saw a guy walking, so how would that look like? So this is how it looks like, right? So this guy either can go bottom, or this guy can go top, or this guy can go left or right, or maybe in another direction, right? So but this person only sticks to this direction. So even though this guy jumps, for example, you cannot see that. It seems to be like this guy is still standing at the same position, right? So because even though uh, there is a chance that he jumps, you cannot see it. So that's 2D. You can only see only these directions. You cannot see the third dimension, right? I hope it's clear. If not, let me know in comments, or you can ping me in my Discord server. I'll try to explain it again. All right, so now we know what is a 2D. Now we need to understand how it works in the game engine. So again, let's take this guy. Okay, so let's put these two lines. So the horizontal line is known as x. So I'm sorry. Um, the horizontal line is referred as x, and the vertical line is referred as y. So let's say if this guy's position is 0, 0, the first 0 represents x, second 0 represents y. And if I put the values of x, for example, for at a distance, or maybe let's try to compare it with the real time scenarios. Let's say from this guy position, Okay, from this guy's position, this is 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters. Again, if he goes back, this is 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters. Okay, and again this is 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. Again this is 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meters. Okay, so in xy coordinates, so in this plane, to understand where the position of the object is, so all the coordinates in this quadrant, so we call this as quadrants. So this is first, second, third, fourth. Okay, all the coordinates, which is meter 1, meter 2, meter 3, we consider them as positive values. So if this guy is placed here, for example, so this is 4, this is 3. Okay, so this guy's coordinates will be 4 comma 3, right? And if this guy is placed here, for example, so always this quadrant, this y and this x will always be positives. The first quadrant will always be positives. Okay, so positive x, positive y. Let me make more space. Okay, so this is second quadrant. For example, this guy is here now. Okay, now again, what is x here? 4, and y, what is y here? 3. So in the second quadrant, always x will be 0, sorry, minus, and y will be positive, minus x minus y, because this is considered as origin. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see. Okay, this position here is considered as origin. So this origin will always be 0 and 0. So here the x and y values will be completely 0. So if I go inside, against the x value, this will be in negatives. If I go this side towards the x, so x will be positive. Again, if I go top, the y value will be positive. If I go bottom, again I am going against 0, so this will be y minus y. Alright, so in the third quadrant, so this will be minus x minus y, and in the fourth quadrant it will be positive x and minus y. Alright, I hope I'm making sense. So it's very easy, but if it is still confusing for you, let me know. Okay, you can comment or you can ping me in Discord server. Okay, so again I'll redraw it without the mess. Okay, so here origin will be 0 and 0, and this will be positive x, sorry, this will be negative y, positive y, negative y, sorry, negative x. Okay, so now the position, the coordinates of the object will be depending on where do you place them. If you place here, could be something like +2 -2. If you place here, could be like 2 2, and if you place here, maybe it could be -2 2, and if you place here, it will be -2 and -2. Okay, so when you develop this any game, you'll have to understand the positions and coordinates. Otherwise it might be little confusing, or maybe it will be difficult to develop the game, right? So this concept is very important. And now how this will look like in the game engine. Okay, so Assume that this is the construct 3 layout. Oops, let me see if I can insert something. Yep. Okay, let's say this is the construct 3 layout and we are in the portrait. Okay, so the game is in the portrait. Okay, let's say this is a spaceship or something. This is going forward, which is going up. Which is going up means y, right? Or it can either go left and right, which is x, right? So in the game engine, you have to remember all the layouts will be in the fourth quadrant. So if I take this as the xy plane, okay, so this is first, second, third and fourth. Okay, the game will always be in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so the origin is 0 0, it is here at the edge. Okay, it is here. Let me make it little large. Okay, so here is the origin and your player is here. The player can either go left or right, or they can go top, right? So based on this, you're going to develop the game. So don't think it's lot of things. It's a very simple concept, but when you see it in actual game, it will be very easy. Okay, but I am explaining to the basics so that whoever has no knowledge about programming or games or even maths, you should be able to understand. All right, so that's why I'm trying to explain very basics. Okay, so in the game engine, so the fourth quadrant, generally in the fourth quadrant is x minus y, correct? So this is the general xy coordinates. But in the game engine, fourth quadrant is also positive y. Okay, so for example, if you are here, this guy is here, so x could be maybe 10 and y could be maybe 20. Okay, right? So as simple as that. So when you're working on something, let's say there are so many obstacles here, maybe enemies are coming down and your player is going up shooting them, right? So for each object has some xy coordinates. This guy also has the xy coordinates, right? I hope it's clear. So we are going to compare the xy coordinates and we are going to develop the game, or we are going to see the layout size based on the layout. If the player is out of the layout, how do you know? Because after crossing here, the x value becomes negative. What if the player or the enemy crosses the screen? How do you know? Right, so at this certain point, maybe the y value is 100. If it is crosses 100, it becomes 110. Then you know that the enemy has crossed the layout and you have to detect minus 1 life. So all these things are related to the xy coordinates of the objects. Alright, so in the next video, let's look at how it looks in the game engine, right? Alright, thanks.